I was wrong. The untold story of the shocking journey from PTL power to prison and beyond by Jim Bakker. Chapter 41. The Hole. I kept busy during the summer months, often working out with Rod in the iron pile, the sack of dead weights outside near the recreation field. With Rod's help and the coaching of a bunch of other guys, I was getting myself into better physical shape than I had ever been in my life. Besides lifting weights, I walked several miles most days, and going round and round the track that surrounded the soccer field. The female guard escorted me back down the hall in the direction of the entrance to the hole. As we passed other inmates, I whispered to anyone I even knew vaguely, "Get Dr. Foster, I'm going to the hole. Please get hold of Dr. Foster." What upset me the most about going to the hole, besides the awful feeling of being incarcerated in solitary confinement, was the fact that my children were coming to visit the following day. I had come to grips with Tammy Faye's departure, and I had accepted the fact that we were now divorced. I certainly wasn't over her, but I had at least turned the corner and pulled out of my deep depression. I had been feeling good. I had been exercising outdoors regularly, so my body was toned, tanned, and fit. My clothes were all sharply cleaned and pressed. My shoes were shined. My mental attitude was better than at any time since being incarcerated. I had gotten all A's in my college courses. I was ready to have the most positive prison visit possible. I had really been looking forward to having a wonderful time with my children. Now I was going to the hole. Chapter 42. My worst nightmare. I have always enjoyed exercise, but prior to going to prison, I had never been comfortable with working out in public, gymnasiums, or exercise rooms. Part of my reluctance went back to my childhood days, when I had a secret desire to be a gymnast. Yes, I never dared step onto the gym floor or try. My gym teachers often made fun of me as a young boy because I did not run and jump as well as other boys. My first day in gym class, my teacher gave me a failing grade for poor posture. I hadn't even done anything yet, and the man had flunked me already. Beyond the physical benefits of exercise, there was a sort of unwritten respect for the inmates who took good care of their bodies and exuded a tough macho image. In that area, my cellmate Rod was concerned for my well-being. He said, "Jim, you walk like a girl. You walk like a victim. You have to walk tough in prison or somebody's going to try to take advantage of you." I knew Rod was right. In prison, I was so nervous and uptight, I walked fast, keeping my eyes down no matter where I was going. I've always walked with a short step, sort of like a bandy rooster. So I always walked quickly. I never had a macho image. When I used to see videotapes of myself walking across a television stage, I always thought that I walked sort of funny compared to other people, and it always bothered me. As a teenager, one of the bullies at school teased me that I walked like a fairy. Apparently, my walk was one of the first things people noticed about me in prison. Dr. Foster had admitted his concern upon my arrival because I looked vulnerable when I walked. Added to my overall timid demeanor, Dr. Foster feared I would be a sitting duck for predators in prison if I didn't adapt quickly and present a tougher look. Most of my friends in prison realized the same thing. So before long, some of my black buddies tried to teach me how to walk with soul. "You got to get loose, Jim," they'd tell me. As I mentioned previously, the positive aspect about being assigned to cleaning toilets in prison was that I was often able to complete my work early in the day and then, before the other inmates returned to their cells, have time left to study the Bible or write. With most of the men out on work duties, the relatively quiet afternoons were extremely conducive to concentrated study and writing. Often I became so absorbed in what I was doing, I was oblivious to the normal prison sights and sounds around me. One such afternoon, when my cellmate Rod was out of the building, as were most of the other inmates, I was busy studying and writing letters in my cell when suddenly I glanced up, and to my horror, I saw a huge man standing right next to me. Already shocked that someone had been able to enter my space without me hearing the door, I was terrified when I saw the man had unzipped his fly and was exposing himself. "You know you want this, don't you?" he growled, leering at me. I was terrified, but I sat stoically, not making a move. I knew the only way I could possibly rebuff him was to be equally gruff. "No," I growled back, doing my best to sound surly and authoritative. "Get out of here before I call the guards." I turned back toward my work and kept my eyes straight ahead toward my desk. I dared not move. The man could easily have killed me. He could have snapped my neck in a moment. But God gave me the courage and an unusual power in my words. The man taunted me. "You know you want this." "You know you want this." Then, as quickly and as quietly as he had entered the room, he whirled around and left, pulling up his zipper as he went.